here, but I got kind of snaked. Like I was like, oh,
No,
Walgreens down the
no,
street, so I go in there, bruh.
we was waiting on y'all to join. We was waiting on y'all to join anyway.
Oh, y'all could have started it. I was just
I
put
mean,
money
we
on my
could
card.
have, but we could have, but it was like it was just gonna be more of a back and forth thing, and I'm not really trying to make this episode just too long. Maybe like 30 minutes at most.
We always say that, and that should never be 30.
I started recording 30 seconds ago.
Oh, we always say that shit. Then
We,
next,
we, we
it's been an hour and went by, and then 2 hours.
2 hours, bruh.
cause it's like, cause I guess he really be getting into it, bro, and it's like, dang, like I guess he's just losing track of time. But anyway, yes, this is the delay.
I'm telling you, it's like a pie or whatever. That mug bacon, right? And then it did hit a little bit afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is the Delayed W podcast. I'm your host,
Live?
Kiki the Don. Yes, sir. I'm your host, Kiki the Don. And we have our usual panel, Delayed Saint.
Yeah.
That boy J Money, Millennium Money.
Millennial money.
Yes, sir. Need that bacon, egg, and cheese.
It's crazy. And
With the Bev.
We have King Beast.
Man, what's up,
Warwolf
y'all? I'm fighting.
will be joining us shortly.
I'm,
Nigga,
I'm
you sick
fi-
again?
No, I'm not sick. I was streaming last night and we was playing 2K and I was drinking too, and that shit hit my stomach right now. I'm fighting.
You know what's crazy, bro? I saw your tweet and I was all like, dang, bro. My nigga about to wake up late as hell. I'm already knowing.
I only slept for 5 hours. I went to bed at like 4:30. I woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That's all you need,
Ooh,
bro. 5 hours.
you did a
Fuck sleep.
UPS. You did a UPS shift, my boy.
Oh my god.
What the shift doing?
But yes, on today's topic, we are talking about reboots and revivals. So, my question to y'all is: when do y'all personally feel like it is necessary to reboot something? It can be anything, like a book, a movie, game, show, comic, etc.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna probably be the unpopular opinion on it because I do see the reason for reboots, right? Because but let's be real, it's a lot of stuff you think, oh no, I don't need a reboot or nothing like that, and you go back to it and you be like, oh, this isn't age right. Like games, for example, bro. There's a reason why I try to stay away from like old games and just like keep my childhood memories. Because you go back to some of the mugs, oh my god, those shits be so outdated. In some movies, they'll have like the certain like references for its time, and I get it. I mean, they're not. I don't think every director is trying to make it like future proof or like timeless, and that can be an issue for sometimes because I don't know. Like, I can't name a movie off my head right now that's like, oh, you know what? Nah, something that which is very common in Hollywood. They'll take shows and they reboot them into movies. Like Inspector Gadget. Yeah. That was something like I felt that needed a reboot. And you go to stuff where it's like, where's an adaptation for it? Like the Goosebumps we talked about before. Like that, there's no reason for that. That's the shows is literally a one-on-one adaptation of the books. So it's like, where are you gonna get the new content for? Because I don't see a reason for it.
My thing is with the Goosebumps, like, yo, like, are y'all creating y'all own stuff with it, or are y'all just like rebooting it to the point where it's like, no, like we're like it's a reboot of the OG, so we're basically adapting the books again, or maybe y'all like that. That's the only, or y'all are adapting the books in new ways that we never saw. Like that. That's just. I don't know. Hey, J-Money. Hey, hot take. They should have brought back the haunted hour instead of Goosebumps.
Yeah, bro. The haunting hour is like low key better.
What about Afraid of the Dark?
I hadn't even thought of that. I hadn't even thought of Afraid of. I think Afraid of the Dark would probably work today.
I don't think there was a reboot, but I'm a double check because that's a really good show that used to come on Nick and like, oh my god, if they redo
I
that.
don't know. I don't know if it was a reboot. I do remember, I remember they were showing like reruns of it, but I don't remember it being a reboot or revival per se.
Yeah, no, I only see the original, of course, in 1990, but I don't see a reboot. I mean, I'm gonna double check it though.
Because I be feeling like a reboot and revival is like it has to be a reason why. Like, I understand, like, okay, like most of the time they do it for like nostalgia or like for nostalgia pandering or like a cash grab, but I also feel like there has to be somewhat of a deeper like reason. Like what's what's the reason why you think such and such needs to be redone in a different fashion? If that makes sense what I'm saying.
I got some bad news for y'all.
What?
There was a reboot.
Okay, so it must have not been good because I ain't hear about it.
It says TV series around 2019 to 2022.
Okay, so
man.
So it lasted about a good 3 years. That's not terrible.
Holy shit. I think there's 6 episodes. It's not really showing me.
It don't got a wiki page?
I'm on the IMDb page. Holy shit, there's 4 seasons?
Of what?
Okay, so
Are You Afraid of Dark reboot?
Yeah, they made a reboot of Are You Afraid? But the thing is, like, somebody had to be watching that mug for it to last. For it to last for 3 years like that, and it had 4. Somebody was watching that mug.
Just to clarify, it's 3 seasons. Last episode was August 13, 2022, with only 3 episodes that season. Number 4, it says plot unknown. I guess they were going to do a new episode or in the works. It says, yeah, I guess it was in the works. I'm not sure. That's sad. Oh my god, that's real sad. Like,
hopefully it didn't end in a. Hopefully it wasn't one of them shows that ended in a cliffhanger. Then
it probably was. Like, y'all remember that All That reboot?
I do. I actually do.
I feel like that it came and went for like a week.
Wolf says he's coming. Pause. Yeah, but I definitely remember being not hyped for it, but like I was a little bit like, Like at first I thought it was gonna be in good hands because you had Keenan and Kel, like you had them kind of coming back and like helping with the show and everything. And then I watched it and I was like, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not like obviously clearly this isn't for my target audience. Like this isn't for like us. This is for the younger generation. And I feel like the younger generation, like they probably aren't really going to get into this as much as we did.
Yeah, and we might as well talk about this. As you said, Kenan and Kel, a Good Burger too. Jesus Christ!
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I'm gonna hit niggas with the hot take. This is my delayed take for tomorrow. But Good Burger 1, it wasn't really that good of a movie. Like it got nostalgia. It got nostalgia factor to it. Kenan and Kel carried that mug, but as a plot, as a story, it's really not good.
No, you know, it was a simple movie for its time. You know, it's the 90s. Like it wasn't nothing like crazy, but holy, like, y'all can see my screen. Is it sharing?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, let me.
I'm like, why did they put so much makeup on this boy Kel, bro? Like they was trying so hard to make him look young, and I'm just like, I don't know about this movie, dog. And I love 1. I can rewatch 1 so many times, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's like Space Jam to me. Like I get it. Space Jam is not like if we're talking about it as a straight up film, it's not a good film. But if you love Looney Tunes, like I did, I grew up on Looney Tunes. And you love Michael Jordan. You watching it for the nostalgia fact of it and for fun. Like it's one of those movies you turn your brain off for. Like you're just watching it. You know what I mean? Like it's not nothing too crazy, and it's a classic. And when they start doing sequels, and you saw Space Jam 2, that movie was ass, bro.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
And they do everything that the movie wasn't. Like, when they do the sequels, it's a total opposite of what the original is. Because that Space Jam 2 was trying to be so preachy and this and that. I'm just like,
I felt like Space Jam 2 was actually trying to have like a story. But I was like, that's kind of really not the point of Space Jam. Like, it was never like, it does have a story, but that ain't the main focus of it.
Yeah, nah, like it's like they dropped the whole ball with that one. Like, I don't get why they do this. Like, you, when you start trying to make it too preachy, a full on story, you lose the charm of it. Like, look at The Mummy, for example. They thought, oh, Tom Cruise, this is gonna sell, and we gonna make a universe out of this. The Mummy was never a serious series, bro. It was a lighthearted Indiana Jones movie.
What was I gonna say? I was about to say something. Yeah. I felt but I mean, I think there are certain situations where it could definitely like it could have became a universe, but it's like the thing
who was asking for it though?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, was the Mummy really just like? I'm not saying that the Mummies like the OGs one was trash. They were really good, but no one was really just.
Well, let's rephrase that. 1 and 2 are really good. 3 was just like a hot mess.
Which one was 3?
Yeah.
Jet Li and what's her name from Everywhere All at Once.
Who was the villain?
Jet Li.
Jet Li. That wasn't the Dragon Emperor, was it?
It was.
Nigga, that shit was gas. Please move on.
No,
the Dragon
no.
Emperor with the Yetis was heat. Stop it.
No, Jet Li does his thing, but I'm talking about as an overall movie, and you compare it to 1 and 2, that mug is not it.
It is a good movie. That movie slaps.
Hey, it's like TMNT. Them first 2 classics. That
exactly.
That third one when they go back in time.
Third was my favorite one.
Yeah, you're sick, bro. You're sick.
Wait, are you talking
but
about
you know what?
Are you talking about
the 90s joint? Then for TMNT.
Yeah, no,
yeah. For TMNT, that was my favorite joint.
Well, I'll let you slide with that because I love Matrix Reloaded. That's my favorite Matrix. So
see, and you trying to talk to me about this stuff is crazy. Matrix Reloaded.
Listen, the technology wasn't there, bro, and it didn't age well. But I'm telling you, that's a movie right there where they can do a remaster or a remake of that mug. I'll be fine with it, bro. Because that's it. I peeped the vision, bro. Like all the Smiths. The clones, like, come on, bro. It's a fire concept. It's just the technology was just not there.
No, it's not. It slapped back then. It just didn't age well. That's all it is. That's fine. Like we know that stuff happens. We know what it was. They cooked, and it's okay. True.
So, how do y'all feel when like they're like constantly like not like when they're like okay? How do y'all feel about things that don't really necessarily need to be revived, that still has a strong fan base, still a strong attachment to the original, but yet they decide to reboot it, like Ben 10, for example.
Oh, here we go.
I feel like okay, no, because I didn't even know Ben 10 was getting a reboot. They could have really left that dead in the water after what I know what happened with Omniverse. They could have left that.
It had a reboot. The reboot is it's already out. It's already finished. They've already finished it.
I don't. That's nasty work because like Ben 10 didn't even. When I really think about it, like the original run of Ben 10 didn't even end that long ago, so they already rebooted it.
Yeah,
that's crazy. They didn't even need to touch that.
When did they? I think the reboot came out in 2017. Yeah, it came out in 2017.
It wasn't long after Omniverse ended.
And that was literally that was 3 years after Omniverse ended. Matter of fact.
So, that's crazy. They didn't even need to do that for real. They could have just left it. Like I could understand if it was like Amazing Spider-Man thing where it's like you trying to keep the rights for a character. That's one thing, But it's like, bro, you just ended the series and you're already rebooting it. It's like you have all this good stuff and everything. You could just do spinoffs or something at that point, or just do a prequel with like Grandpa Max or something. You ain't got to do a whole thing. You could just keep it how it is. That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
I'm so lost. Like, wait a minute. The only Benton I know was when he was a kid and when he was like a kind of like a teenager.
So
Yeah,
like
that's the OG. That's the OG
that's
Ben 10. So you
the
have.
That's a
So
Ben
you,
reboot.
10. They got
It's not
Ben
a
so you
10.
sequel.
have.
No, Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, then Omniverse, and then that's it. And then they rebooted it.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
The fuck? What is
Yeah,
the
The
new one
reason
You
called?
probably
I'm
just didn't
Omni.
watch Omniverse, Saint.
I didn't watch Omniverse because
it's
they
just
changed the
called.
animation style, and I
I
wasn't
gotta
crazy
see.
about it.
I gotta
You
see.
you mean
'Cause
they
I'm
changed? You
confused.
mean they changed the art style?
Yeah, thank you, Kiki.
So Omniverse, is that the reboot? Because I didn't
No,
see this one
No,
for sure.
No, it's a
Omniverse is
no.
after
continuation.
Ultimate
Omniverse
Alien.
is no. Omniverse is part of the Prime
That
Ben
is
10
canon.
stuff. That's yes.
Huh?
Thank you.
So
So
It's a
why did they change
continuation.
they put a Rebels basically is what it kind of seemed like?
yeah. You can say that. You can 100% say
Okay.
that. I
Okay.
mean, I will say that they actually gave a pretty good, somewhat decent explanation. At least Man of Action did on why they wanted to at least try to revive it or reboot it. Because they said in the original Ben 10 that they felt like when it transitioned to Alien Force, they felt like that because that's like a huge jump. Like if you watch OG, he's 10, and then when you go to Alien Force, he's
You're
like
like
15.
15.
And
Hmm.
they felt like that they didn't. They felt like that we didn't really as an audience and them as the creators. They feel like that they didn't really get to see like Ben like be a 10 to 11-year-old with the Omnitrix enough. And that's kind of why, if y'all remember in Omniverse, they had a lot of 11-year-old Ben
Flashbacks.
flashbacks to that too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's so when they did that, that's why that's when the reboot came out, they was all like, yeah, let's just go back to 110 and to do that and whatnot.
Yeah. I still think it was unnecessary though. Because they connected the reboot to the original shit. Well, it's a different universe, technically.
Is there any reboots that y'all like from y'all's perspective? Things?
Huh?
I'm trying to think, like,
I
any
said,
reboots that I like.
did y'all watch the Thundercats like in 22, like 22? It was kind of like a serialized,
Yes.
somewhat. I like
That
that
was
one.
good. It was just short lived.
Yeah, I've liked all the reboots, all the He-Man like reboots and revivals. I'll even say I like them over the 80s one. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
A old head might say that's a hot take.
Yeah.
hey, I'll even say that the same about TMNT.
Mm. I
Yeah,
say
I'll
this
even say
newest TMNT that we just got is probably our best adaptation. And let me tell you why. Because they actually acted like
like
teenagers.
teenagers.
For once. I really like how they switched up the ending too, where they actually just go into normal school and all that. Cause like you
Yeah,
never
that
really
was
get to see
crazy.
that at all.
Well, they had a little short. It was right before Robbie and TMNT came out, and it was on Nickelodeon. It was like you could see it on Nickelodeon's website. Um, and it's a thing. You can see it on Nickelodeon's website. Yeah, you can see it on Nickelodeon's website, but but it's a thing where they're like actually youth and stuff too, and they go to school. It was kind of interesting.
I think I've seen that. Well, like I've seen a clip from it.
I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm not talking that much. I'm really fighting for my life in my stomach right now.
Hey, you good, bro?
That brown hitting me.
That is cool. Okay, so have y'all ever played Marvel Nemesis Rising in person? Everybody
Boy,
yes.
Yes.
You already know, Kiki.
I kind of want them to remake that.
You want to remake it?
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah,
with like different heroes and stuff, different or more characters and shit, different versions of them.
Mm-hmm. Because I felt like the original one, like it was but it had potential, right? Like I could see kind of what they were doing with it and stuff. I needed to improve on the combat a little bit, make the story more interesting. You would have had you would have had a very solid game.
No, that's facts. I just remember playing that shit with my cousin a lot.
Matter of fact, how do y'all feel since Mortal Kombat is kind of known for these reboots?
Hey, fix your mic a little bit.
I don't think
just about to comment.
I'm gonna say I really ain't got a problem with the Mortal Kombat joints because it's like for some of them they kind of just make sense. Why they even bother going for them to begin with and all that? Like
the show or the game?
The games. I'm talking about the games, like the show.
But I was primarily talking about the game.
Yeah, but no, the show, like not the show. I haven't seen the show. My fault. I ain't seen the show.
What do you mean, a movie?
Which movies? We talk about the new joint. We talk about because like I don't think there was anything wrong with them dropping I don't think there's anything wrong with them dropping that live action joint because it's like we haven't had a Mortal Kombat movie in so long.
That goes to when I said that was like ahead of its time. Like the technology wasn't there yet for a Mortal Kombat movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because the choreography is on point. It's just the writing is just shit. Like that movie fucking sucks. But as far as the games, the one we all had a watch party for, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the 2021.
I'll even say the writing kind of sucks for the originals as well. Like it's cheesy, but I will say, even how bad and cringy it is going back and watching them mugs,
there's still like a charm to it.
There's a charm to it, you know, like
because they pay a lot of respect and homage to the games.
Like Johnny Cage was on point. Raiden's my favorite character from Mortal Kombat, and I was just like, okay, a white dude with silver hair, but I guess I'm like I can't argue it because even in the games it's kind of a white dude or at least a mixed white Asian guy, you know. But the games needed it because if you played 11, that story was so convoluted, bro. Holy shit! And it goes back to J Money's like take and Doc's take as well, like other pods where they're like, bro, this multiverse shit got to stop. And that was one of those things where the multiverse story, it kind of sucked. I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of sucked. But I mean, the characters are on point in a sense, if that makes sense. Like the charms of the characters kind of carried through that story, but it wasn't a good story. So when they did a DLC and officially rebooted it, and then they officially announced this Mortal Kombat 1, some people were shocked, and I'm like, guess you didn't play the other games. It made sense, and it's like I'm glad they're doing it because they're getting to do a lot more better stuff and retell the story in a better way. Like Raiden, for example, he's not a white dude with silver hair anymore. He's a actual Asian person and got culture to himself, and his role is switched for Liu Kang. So, because Liu Kang's a god now, and he controls it. Spoiler, but I mean, he's a god now.
It ain't no spoiler. It ain't no spoiler. That thing been out for 11 came out. I don't know how long ago.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's still,
as a courtesy, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's just a different twist on stuff. You got Scorpion and Sub-Zero, they're brothers now, who've been known to be rivals. Like for each game, like Mortal Kombat 9, the best cover. Honestly, and I love Tekken, but I will say Mortal Kombat 9 arguably has the best like gaming cover ever, especially in the fighting games. Like that Scorpion and Sub-Zero on the cover fighting each other, and even in each trailer, look at Mortal Kombat X.
Yes,
what was the trailer? Bro. Scorpion and Sub-Zero doing their X-rays and fatalities on each other.
Wiz Khalifa playing in the background. Like, come on, bro.
So it's like it's cool to see they're like, oh, the brothers now. That's a different dynamic. You look at Shao Kahn. He's not a Kahn anymore. He's General Shao. He's building up to become a Kahn. Like it's cool.
Yeah,
but I don't.
Like that's.
I was just gonna say I just don't like the celebrity shit. And you start throwing them in there into video games, even in movies and shows where it's like, you know, this motherfucker can't act or voice act at all. Like.
I'm not gonna lie, for me with that new Mortal Kombat and how they had Megan Fox in there, like I was like, you know what, let me give her a chance with Natara, but it's like she ain't really slapped like that. This is why they need voice actors to actually do it, unless like the actual actor or actress is just versatile enough to be doing that type of stuff. Because it just like it's not like she didn't try. It's just like this ain't your lane, big dog. I'm sorry to tell you. Like I don't know what to tell you.
I couldn't tell. It sounded like she didn't try because that shit was so atrocious. But I will say. It made me go back and be like, damn, I owe Ronda an apology. Her shit was bad, but it wasn't this bad, bro. At least I was just like, okay, I can still play the game and ignore it. This, I'm just like, oh, this sticks out like a sore thumb. Like,
yeah, it's like she not like it's like she just says the line, right? Like she'll just say the line, and that's it. It'll be like she'll be dry with it. If that makes sense, what I'm saying, like it's no emotion behind it.
It's like what me and Wolf were talking about RE4, the remake. The Ada Wong actor. And I do not condone that weirdo shit of harassing these actors or celebrities because you don't like whatever content it is. But her acting was so bad. It really just seems like she's reading a teleprompter and just got a check and dipped.
She was.
It's just like athletes doing a food commercial.
Oh yeah,
reading
ball game.
Yeah.
One example it would be Subway with Steph Curry and two other basketball players. I'm like, y'all just reading shit. There's like no enthusiasm. There's no emotion. Like if you were to read them on like a wavelength, it'll just be fucking flat. I was literally talking about this to my mom. Like these people who read these lines, they just don't sound happy.
They don't sound happy. It's crazy. Yeah, they don't sound like they enjoying anything.
Yeah, I like Crystal Light. Get your peach mango. Yeah.
Yo.
It's so weird because Megan Fox's announcement video of being in the game, she seemed excited and like she's like, oh, and you know her vibe. She really had like blood vials and stuff with her. I don't know if they're together or ex, whatever that situation is. But her and MGK had like blood vials and stuff too, kind of like the Angelina Jolie shit.
Yeah, they're
like, okay. I was like, this might match her character, but then you hear it and it's like, Jesus, this is bad. Like, I don't know what Ed Boon, how much they paying Ed Boon, or if she's connected to Warner Bros. In some way. If she has an agent that's like under that umbrella, kind of like how the Rock, you know, his wife's his agent, and she's kind of like under that division. I don't know if it's that type of situation or what. Who got paid? Because there's no way anybody cleared this and was like, yeah, this is good. People are gonna love this shit. Hell nah, bro.
No, that's a celebrity trying to get more people into the, like, they got a celebrity to help get more people into it. And it's like, we know that type of stuff happens, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
That is true.
What was I gonna say? So here's my question to all y'all, because I'm sure all of y'all played this game at least once. Well, both of these games. How would y'all feel if Call of Duty and Halo got reboots? do y'all think that those will work, or
I'm gonna stop you right there because Call of Duty.
Hold on.
Call of Duty is already rebooted.
So for Call of Duty, they rebooted I don't know how many times. Halo, like if they had a chance to really reboot Halo, they could have done that a couple of years ago. But they want to keep going with the story type stuff. If they didn't drop nothing over the last couple of years, then yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. But even then, I ain't play Halo and I don't know how long for real.
It can't all that in order.
But at this, so it's like at this point, you kind of can't because they keep dropping stuff. Just continue the story you got, and then just leave it alone. Then you can just mess with it again later on if
Halo,
you want to, or you can just leave it dead.
Oh, here's the thing: that Halo, you can't do that because of the fan base. They're just that crazy. It's just like it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. And
they'll be all right. They can find a new game.
And when you analyze the story is way too complex to just go full reset. What you can do is focus off Master Chief and go to a new character, and they've done that multiple times. Halo Wars, they're very successful. Halo Wars and 2, that's a different genre of gaming, but those are successful.
Though.
Yeah, but the characters, the Marines and the other Spartan ones. That's part 1. Spartan 2s, you could make a whole story about them and still be successful. So you don't have to reboot the Halo. You can just talk about a different character and follow that person's story, and it'll still be successful as long as it's within the Halo realm and they're not taking past history and rewriting it.
Or a soft reboot like God of War, they can do
like
that.
They did with the Halo TV show, because that was that was a rewritten.
Why did I need to see Master Chief's ass cheeks on the timeline, bro? On Twitter.
That's an example of a rebooted Halo that just does not work. Because they weren't going off books, they weren't going off video games, they were going off their own creation, and it just didn't work. Yeah, they took concepts of the books and games, but they completely made a whole new fucking story as a beginner of a Halo. Like that doesn't work. Call of Duty, yeah, they've been rebooting it, but
they just rebooted.
It's not like
Ooh, yeah. The thing is,
Modern 19 was their first reboot of their
Modern Warfare. But the thing was with that though, Wolf, is like they tested the waters. It worked because it sold like hotcakes, and it continues to look at Modern Warfare 2. Like they thought Call of Duty was gonna be dead for sure, and then it sold like crazy again. I know Modern Warfare 3 is gonna sell like crazy. And they kind of like soft announced that they're doing a Black Ops 2 remaster, like kind of like a remake.
Yeah.
And I see it because you look at it. They did Warzone. That was highly
on the
successful.
Phone with my friend.
They were like, let's put every character in there. And now they try to, and this is where the issue happens, where they try to do these reboots, where they try to combine everything into one umbrella. Like, Wolf knows, he understands it, but I'll be right back.
I feel like the only way a Call of Duty can reboot their games is if they're rebooting totally fictional or just total fictional warfare. You can't reboot Call of Duty 2 because that already happened in history. They're just simulating what happened in history. You can't reboot Call of Duty 3. You can't reboot Call of Duty Finest Hour. You can't reboot those games because they're going off key points in history and they're just, exaggerating it, simulating it. But they can reboot fictional stories. That's what we're seeing with Call of Duty 19. Not Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 19, Modern Warfare 2. They're literally just taking a little bit of the plots from the old games and the characters, and they're just rewriting them in a different setting.
Yeah, but like the thing, you could say they kind of already did that with like Advanced Warfare, Ghost, and all that type of shit. Like they already tried their own story.
Yeah.
And everything, which is crazy because it's like even then with some of that stuff, it's like I personally was Call of Duty out by that point, so I ain't even about for playing those. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare was a cool concept. It was cool. Multiplayer just didn't work well for me because you're basically playing vertical warfare because everyone can jump
and run on walls,
20
and I'm
feet
like,
in the sky, so.
And I couldn't keep up with all that. That's when I realized I'm probably cooked on this Call of Duty stuff, and I'm just not gonna do it.
That exosuit shit was so annoying.
I didn't like the quick movements of going left because you can double jump up, you can ground pound, you can strafe. Because there was the strafe mechanic with Advanced Warfare. They just added a lot of complexity to
I like the Advanced Warfare too, but I mean I wouldn't prefer it. Black Ops 3, I preferred that one. Like I think that was perfect to me.
I would even prefer Infinite Warfare only because it is a more fluent Black Ops 3 when it comes to like jetpacks.
I highly disagree with you.
And the wall run movement.
I don't know what you see in that game. Fluid. That mug was stiffer than Kim Kardashian's butt cheeks, bro. Like no,
that was stiff, bro.
It was stiff.
You need to go replay Black. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the movement
of Infinite Warfare.
The Infinite Warfare's movement is more smoother than Black Ops 3's movement.
Hell no. Hell no.
You must be playing on a 30 hertz TV.
Definitely wasn't, bro. I was playing on a 4K Samsung Curve.
I just didn't like it because it was a watered down Black Ops 3. It really was. Characters were mid, like no expressions. It had no pizzazz. None of that. It was just watered the fuck down. Never reached level 30 in that game. Hated it. Absolutely hated it.
I didn't reach level
Battlefield 1 was there. Battlefield 1 was around that time. I put all my time on that game.
You put all your eggs in a basket on there?
Yeah, it was worth it.
So as Battlefield, so technically speaking, like we consider like Bad Company and like the regular, like are those spin-offs, Wolf, or are those like
those are spin-offs.
Not the main line.
They're not reboots of other modern Battlefield shows. They're a completely different story. Because before that time, let's say Bad Company 1, Bad Company 2, then Battle. Well, engine-wise, Bad Company and Bad Company 3 had different engines, basically, when it came to their stylized games. So it's kind of like the Treyarch and the Infinity Ward. You can clearly see the difference. Bad Company had a more stiffer movement, but their character models were kind of bigger. And it kind of went more fluent in Bad Company 2, and then here comes Battlefield 3, and it was just... That was a run-on gun. You were running a lot. It was more fluent, but
oh my god,
Bad Company. Those are totally. Isn't that? It's just a spin-off. And for me, yeah.
You know what? A reboot that died so quick. It was that bad.
What?
It's from EA. I know you know
Medal of Honor.
Yes, sir. That last one was bad.
Yes. Oh my god! I remember. Let's call him Donnie Guns. He had Medal of Honor. The modern warfare. You go in Afghanistan. You're a tier 1 operator. Your character got a beard, whatnot. Like those type of special force operators. That was a cool concept. I never played the multiplayer. Oh no, I did. But what I remember of multiplayer is that depending on which faction you were on, is the weapons you had to use.
Yep.
I don't like that concept. Like, I don't want to be... I'm just calling it the insurgency. And I got to use AKs, Dragunovs, Scorpions when I get on the, whatever, NATO side. Using M4s, MP5s. I didn't like that concept. And I don't remember much of the multiplayer.
The multiplayer, bro? I don't know if you remember this, but I really feel like all the maps was like dark as shit. Like you couldn't see a fucking thing.
I do remember a lot of dark shadow areas. I do remember like a mountain base.
Yeah.
And that was kind of hard to navigate. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Then they came out with Warfighter, which was a cool concept, right? It was a cool concept because you had you could choose what country you wanted to be a part of, and depending on what country, they have their tier 1 operators. So if you chose Russia, you got Spetsnaz. If you chose America, you had different agencies. You can either choose the SEAL team or Navy SEALs, or what they call OGA, the other government agencies, which is kind of like CIA. France had their special forces, Germany had their special forces, and they all had like their different weapon systems. That was a cool concept, but the multiplayer was terrible. I only got as far as in the beta, man. The beta was shit. I wasn't gonna touch it, and look what happened to it. It fucking flopped. But it was a cool concept, adding like you get to choose the team that you think is much or like cooler than the other, and you can use their weaponry and dress how they dress to play multiplayer. But yeah, Medal of Honor, and that was a competitor to Call of Duty for a long time.
Back in PC,
they made some bangers like European Assault, Pacific Theater. What I forgot. Shit, I forgot the Pacific one. My brother played it, but European Assault, Medal of Honor Airborne. That was one of their like crazy titles. I think that's like in 2012. But yeah, Call of Duty had a competitor before Battlefield came on the scene, and it was literally Medal of Honor because they were making World War II story World War II games, and they were getting a lot of money. I think they were beating Call of Duty at one point, but then they just went downhill. Sadly, I think after Warfighter they made a VR game. I don't know why, but I think that died as well.
So now,
wait! The PSVR game?
Yeah, they made a
That's
VR.
them?
I don't know if it's PS. I don't. It was another
Xbox, right? And then they made it a VR game, right?
I don't know. I don't think it was.
It was like
I think it was strictly PC VR.
Yeah.
What is that?
Talk to someone.
Dude got horse.
Yeah, it's called. Let me get the full picture. It's called Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Came out in 2020.
What the fuck? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, it was a VR game. Oculus.
Okay, that makes sense.
This kind of reminds me of another company that I think is gone, or it's getting taken, or something. Gearbox. Anyone remember Gearbox Software?
Yeah, Gearbox.
I do.
Known for Borderlands, but before Borderlands, they made.
Oh my god! Let's not even bring that up again, bro.
Completely different.
Do not need no legal action with this.
Different. But Gearbox, before they made Borderlands, like they got popular in Borderlands, they were popular on a trilogy. I think it was a trilogy. Yeah, a trilogy called Brothers in Arms. That series, the person who owns Gearbox, because this is the same guy who says that World War II's cover art came from his Brothers in Arms cover art, because there was there's an image of Baker, the main character in Brothers in Arms Hell Highway, that had that same exact pose that you see on World War II with the hands under the nose and the dog tag showing. I think he either sued Activision for that or just complained about that.
Right?
Yeah. Sledgehammer. So World War II. Not Vanguard, but World War II.
Niggas should have known it was gonna be shady. It's Warzone. I mean, it's Sledgehammer. They ain't never made a good game in their life.
They're balloons, pretty much. But yeah, before Borderlands, they had that game called Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30, and it just followed the paratroopers of World War II. I don't know if it was based off real team, but it did follow the 101st Airborne, the 82nd Airborne, and they made a sequel called Earned in Blood, which followed the friend of the main character's first game, and they made Hell's Highway, and that was good because that was during like the 1944, yeah. But they could have made a fourth one to end the series, but they never fucking did it. And you know what they did? to spit in the face of those fans. They made a fucking spin-off of Brothers in Arms. It had nothing to do with anything. It was like a toony fucking World War II game, like the Outfit on Xbox. I don't know if you remember that video game. It was
the Outfit.
The Outfit. That's what it was called. And it was just a jokey fucking World War II game. I thought it was like, as a kid, I thought it was like, oh, it's another Call of Duty game. It's got World War II characters on it. Nah, dude. It's an arcade fucking World War II shooter. Gross. And they just never made a fourth game, and they made Borderlands, and now I think they're in trouble. Either being sold or dissolved.
So Army of 2? Army of 3?
Army of what?
So Army of 2? Army of 3?
Army of 2?
You don't remember Army
You
of
never
2?
played that?
Army of 2. What? Hold on. Is it those two Juggernaut looking characters?
Yes.
Yeah. I played the first one, didn't play, what was the second one? Like 40 Days something?
Yeah.
I played the first and their spin-off, The Devil's Cartel. I think it was alright.
I didn't play
that's
that.
That's another forgotten game that just fucking died after the third game.
Would y'all think? How would y'all feel if that got a remake or a reboot?
Nah, I wouldn't be for it.
Because like it is a co-op game, but I feel like couch co-op has kind of died. Well, it's died, so like I don't know how that would work well.
Nowadays, your game has to be specifically made for. If you're gonna do couch co-op, you gotta advertise as couch co-op. You can't just make a co-op game and just say, "Hey, you can also play with your friends on the couch." Like, no,
multiplayer.
Yeah, your game has to be specifically made for it and advertised like that. Kind of like one couch co-op game. It's called Overcooked. Overcooked 1 didn't have online player, but they had split screen co-op, and it did really well. And they made a second game that had online play, but still kept that couch co-op option. That would be a perfect example of using that. If it was solely made for someone to be sitting right next to you. And if they ask for online play in your next game, then it would make sense to add that feature, but also keep what created the original. And it is a fun game. I do recommend y'all play it. It's called Overcooked 2. I don't know if it's on PlayStation, though.
I bet I'm back.
You know what they should reboot?
Go on.
Go ahead.
No, never mind. That would make no fucking sense because
I don't know why I thought you was about to say.
I was gonna say something about Dragon Ball, but I'm like, wait, no, they already got like Raging Flat. No,
and that's a problem there. That's a soft reboot.
And they did remaster, so it wouldn't make sense. Like Budokai, yeah, remastered Budokai. No, that wouldn't make.
They kind of already did though. Like they remastered,
changed the music.
But yeah, they remastered it.
It's not
I don't think they're not ever gonna remaster Tenkaichi 1, 2, or 3 because a fourth one probably gonna be on the way. So,
nah, we know why. Man.
We ain't gonna.
Well,
that and Xeno 1.5. My fault.
Man, because old buddy stole all that music. He was plagiarizing like this dude was plagiarizing Disturbed. Like, how do you do that? How?
Actually, he wasn't even. Actually, he actually was not the composer for the Budokai Tenkaichi games. He was the composer for the Budokai games. That's why when you get the remaster, the Budokai games are like
they did some Tenkaichi as well.
He only did it for Budokai Tenkaichi. No, my fault. He did it for the Budokai games. And he did it for Budokai's and Raging Blast 2.
I was gonna say
that's what it
Raging
was.
Blast
That's what it was.
2.
Yeah.
And that's
They
why, like,
changed all the freaking
if
music.
you play Raging Blast 2 now, you get all like it's nothing but Budokai Tenkaichi 3 music.
I gotta find the original copy, bruh.
Oh, recording stopped. We're good.
Yeah, it's back now.
Okay. Like the thing
Go back
is,
to that question then.
Okay, so my question was so this is like so how do y'all feel about retcons? Like, and I remember
when they make something make sense, it's fine. But if it's just changing something for the sake of changing it, then that's when
There's
you
a whole
really don't need
issue.
to retcon.
That Kamala
Exactly.
Khan joint, that's what we don't like.
yeah. And then Wolf, what were you saying about like the spreadsheet or something like that?
Oh, in the sense of like writers writing things, it is kind of like you must write out the details that you've stated, so you won't accidentally write another fact and neglect or erase the original makeup of the character. That's why I always refer back to what you stated about this character and just keep that going through.
Yeah, but it's like, because you want to get technical. Technically, when you read a new run of a comic, it's technically a reboot. Like, technically, like when these writers, when they get assigned like new characters, like about like if somebody gets assigned to write Spider-Man, like just using an example, like they're not gonna go back and read the current run of Spider-Man. They're gonna act as if it's because technically speaking, by the end of the current, the technically by the end of this run, the status quo should either be the same. It should be how it was before the run started, or it'll be something entirely different. So the new writer's job is essentially to like pick up where that previous writer left off while also trying to do something a little different. And that can be kind of challenging because that can be kind of challenging because like for one, well, 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna go and read. Like I'm just using an example. If I was to write Spider-Man, let's say I came after Dan Slott, I'm not about to sit up like more likely than not because I'm on crunch time. I'm not gonna be able to read all of Dan Slott's fucking Spider-Man 10-year Spider-Man run to know what I can't retcon and what I can retcon. If that makes sense, what I'm saying, like I can only do what I'm able to do in this particular run until it goes on to the next writer and vice versa. Really, I have to listen to the editorials because they're really the people that like, oh, well, you can do this, but you can't do this, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of different for comics, but when they try to do that shit in movies and like prime example, No Way Home, there were so many like plot holes. Like, don't get me wrong, great movie, but it's so many plot holes and like I know y'all were like questioning. I was like, hey, you kind of gotta look at it as a new character, but it's not a new character. Like, oh man, because it was just so many things. Like, how did everybody know the Green Goblin was Norman Osborn? And I'm just like, hey, this is not the exact same universe, but it is the same universe. Like, stuff changed.
Yeah. So it's like
it is what it is.
It's like something like that with plot holes. It's like, I mean, they was getting made during the pandemic and all that. So there's only like I knew there was only like so much. I wasn't expecting to be perfect, but I really am happy with how that movie turned out at the end of the day. So
yeah.
But then you got unnecessary stuff like Flash, where I really don't like what and I'm glad I didn't put it in the movie necessarily, but when I found out that the Michael Keaton's Batman had killed somebody and stopped being Batman, I'm like, bro, why would you mess with something like that, bro? Like, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he killed somebody.
I mean, if you're gonna get technical,
like, yeah, he was a killer, right? But it's just like,
oh yeah,
he killed a kid. So it's like, nah, bro, no, I don't even see her. Nah, I can't see Michael Keaton's Batman just killing a kid like that. It's just all around wrong. It's like it's certain stuff. It's like you shouldn't mess with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's kind of the fault. But that's kind of the fault of the Flash because they decided to bring back Michael Keaton rather just if he's gonna bring him back. Like now, y'all kind of messed up / mashed his timeline into that. So it kind of like it's kind of confusing at the same time. It's like a casual viewer.
They tried to mash in Batman Beyond because they thought they were going to do a Batman Beyond story, but it's just like even in that, he's like he didn't kill a kid.
What's hilarious about the whole thing is that Michael Keaton was low-key catching bodies in this movie anyway.
Oh, of course.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know, Wolf. Have you been keeping up with the Tomorrowverse, like the new DC animated movie universe?
Nope. Last time I watched that, it was Man of Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, that's getting rebooted. That's supposedly getting rebooted again.
What? Why? Bro, I swear that I just saw that like a couple years ago. And it's getting rebooted again?
Yeah, supposedly. I don't know
if
that's
true. This is the problem
with
fucking DC.
I don't know if that's true. I hope it's not true, but that's just what I've heard. That's just what our friend Raylan has said. It's supposedly that mug getting rebooted.
This is to show you that these guys are just losing fucking money off of these like comics and animations because they make a run and the shit only lasts like so many years before they gotta hit the fucking reset button.
But that's only because like we said in the last Delayed Takes episode, they keep trying to like not even just DC. I'll just use DC as an example though. They keep trying to have this connected universe when really in actuality, I don't know if y'all remember like before Flashpoint, all the DC movies that came out that were standalone, those were like that was actually their best bet, making standalone DC movies that adapt some of the most famous comic books. When they do
what's crazy though, Kiki, about that is the Joker did buku money, their first like rated R like solo own movie, and they didn't like continue with it. Like they just kind of just stopped doing the own universe things. The only separate universe I know of a movie was the Batman. Like there's other films. Like that's your golden opportunity right there. That's your golden ticket.
Because even back then, like even back then with like movies, like it's like I said, like they weren't really trying to have like this whole connected brand of a universe. It was just a movie was a movie, and that was it. But yeah, supposedly it's getting rebooted. Supposedly, I don't really know how to feel about it. If it was to reboot, hopefully they go back to a more comically looking art style because the Archer art style isn't bad, but I feel like it's a safe animation art style. So
yeah, it's not that complex. So you look at that, the Tomorrowverse style, and you look at My Adventures with Superman. Those are very simple designs that you can draw.
Oh, speaking of that, how do y'all feel about that show? Since that is a reboot, technically speaking. I saw 10 episodes and I loved it.
I think it was fire too.
So that's the reboot.
Yes,
that doesn't follow Tomorrowverse.
No, put it to you like Wolf. Every show, movie, etc. that you see of an adaptation of or interpretation of a character, it's a reboot, or it's a reboot. So yes, My Adventures of Superman, it is a reboot of the character. It has absolutely nothing to do with Tomorrowverse Superman. The only thing that they have in common is it's like their first year being Superman.
Superman year 1, year 0.
Tomorrowverse Superman just seems way more confident, though. I will say that.
How many movies that came after that?
Okay, so you have that. You have The Long Halloween Part 1 and 2. But read the comic to that because the movie's kind of. You have when you have what movie is that? There's a movie where Flash goes back to World War II and he meets like Wonder Woman and a bunch of
Justice Society
people. And then there's another one. I forgot what that one is called, but it has Supergirl in it where they meet
Talk about when Darkseid pulled up and all that. Or are you talking about the other one from the Justice League joint?
No. This is new. This is like new. This is from the Tomorrowverse.
I know what you're talking about when she got with Brainiac at the end or something.
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, there's that movie. And then they're gonna come out with another movie.
Justice League World War or Justice League War World.
Yeah.
Then there was Green Lantern, Beware My Power.
I didn't watch that all the way through, but because I heard that they apparently just combined Kyle Rayner's origin and his story with John Stewart's, but from what I did watch, it wasn't just terrible. It was okay.
Why am I not getting? I'm trying to see the other ones. This list is only showing. They're not showing Batman. Let's see. Part 1, Part 2. Justice Society World War II. Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, that's all they have right now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies total in this universe. And they're gonna just say, fuck it, try again.
That's crazy. For as trash as that mid-52 movies was, they at least kept it consistent and kept going.
Yeah, it was a long run.
That stuff was ass. I'm sorry.
Honestly, that's my favorite Superman suit. The new 52. I love that design.
That is terrible. That is by far one of the worst Superman designs.
I like the collar and the hand sleeve. Going to the back of the
comic and movie item and movie stuff. That stuff is just not it, dude.
I like that suit, and I like the Rebirth first version Superman suit where you had the blue boots. I like it.
I like it. Is nice, but that new 52 stuff, it's just not it. I just couldn't get down with the new 52. That's
swole looking Superman.
Oh yeah, that's another thing with reboots. I just DC does it way more than Marvel, but I just don't like the new 52. I hate that reboot with just a fiery burning passion in my soul, because it's like, why did y'all reboot this? What was the point? Like, y'all ain't have to do this like this.
Money.
Like, that's fine, but my thing is, there was a lot of storylines that y'all didn't finish off when y'all rebooted it. So it's like, so is this shit ever gonna get resolved, or am I just gonna be sitting up here twiddling my thumbs?
Yeah. Nah, DC and Marvel are not in the long haul of characters.
But actually, believe it or not, Marvel don't be rebooting their characters like that. They've only, technically speaking, if you want to get
depends on which character though.
They don't be rebooting their characters like that either. They don't reboot their universes compared to DC. They've only done it once, and that's technically the Ultimate Universe. That's really the only time they've quote unquote rebooted their universe. And even still, they didn't like really reboot it. They just made it another universe so new readers wouldn't get confused with all the continuity that Earth 616 has.
But is that universe where there's multiple heroes in a issue?
What, the Ultimate Universe?
Yeah, you said they
Yeah, there's a lot.
Is there multiple heroes within those issues with that, like, if they're going to some worldly threat, is there like more characters per issue?
Yeah.
But that universe is not rebooted that much compared to DC.
Marvel doesn't really reboot their stuff like that. They
Okay.
have they might like you might be considering you might be confusing like the run of a character or a legacy character with a reboot of the character. But
yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like in the individual characters, they're constantly getting rebooted.
I don't consider like a legacy character a reboot of a character. Like it is, but it's not at the same time. Cause like it's a brand new person down in the stuff, but they're essentially picking up the legacy of what the previous character left behind. So you could call that more of a revival than a reboot.
Revive me, I got ray gun.
That is crazy.
Hey, yo.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, so do y'all? Oh yeah, that's another thing. If they was to reboot zombies, I know we talked about rebooting COD, but what if they rebooted zombies? Well, I think they already did, but like
they are.
Okay.
No, they're not. They're continuing the story, but it's in the Modern Warfare 3 universe using in the Infinity War's IW9 engine, which is obviously the Modern Warfare 19 and the Vanguard engine. But they're continuing the story that was in Vanguard and Cold War. What'd you say?
Oh, you mean that same update? You mean that same data engine they just keep updating?
So I did actually look at this recently. There's a video made about a month ago when it came to the engines that the companies use. So when we were playing Cold War, that was the old fucking engine that they've been using since day one.
I fucking told you they never updated that piece of shit engine. It's still the same engine.
But Infinity Ward, when they made 2019 or Modern Warfare 2019, that was a legit different engine.
Okay, you can tell just graphically, bro, in the visuals. Yeah, you can automatically tell.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll.
We were getting two different engines for a while. Then they made a whole new, revised engine for Modern Warfare 2019. Then 2020, when Cold War came out, we were still using the old fucking engine. So that's why different features weren't there, and it looked differently, it played differently. Then when Vanguard came out, it was the Modern Warfare 19 engine. Then when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it was still the same engine. So now, Activision, when Treyarch gets their new game next year, they're going to be using the Infinity Ward's engine. They're not going to be using their own engine because one, the Infinity Ward's engine is much more protected against hackers than the Cold War engine. So every developer will be using one single engine. So if you don't like Modern Warfare's movement style, well, all the fucking companies are going to be using it now. You're just going to have to deal with it. There's not going to be a stylized change between different companies because all three of them are using the same exact engine. It'll just be a different time setting or time period of whatever game they're going to do. Got to deal with the tack sprint and the slide canceling and the hopping and the jumping and the skipping. Got to deal with it. But I like Cold War. Cold War was my favorite when it came to how I played. I played that longer than any other. I played that more than fucking all the other three games combined. Cold War was my shit, but it had two bad seasons. Yeah. What was the original question?
If they rebooted like zombies, like
yeah. Going back, they're continuing the zombie storyline from Cold War.
I can care less. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Cold War and Vanguard because they were the same. They were still in the same universe, so they're continuing that in Modern Warfare 3.
Like if they was to reboot it, do y'all think like giving it a fresh coat of paint, a fresh start would like help it or hurt it?
Listen,
I really don't know, man.
I don't care, bro. Like the last time I played zombies,
you don't care about
like
zombies,
Black Ops 4, and I barely played that for maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I barely played Black Ops 4 Zombies. It peaked for me at 3.
Yeah, 3 was it. That it was amazing. They brought back the maps and they did a DLC 5, which was unheard of.
Zombies Chronicles.
I ain't gonna hold you. The zombies really peaked me at 2. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with 3. 3
was awesome.
It didn't start. 3. Black Ops 3.
It literally started getting good.
Okay, so the second map before the first DLC map was good. Every other map before Zombies Chronicles was ass. I'm sorry. Or
Horizon Drag?
So you hate Horizon Drag?
Yeah, the Horizon Drag. Yeah, that's the first DLC
Grod
map.
Provi.
Grakovi.
Zetsubo no Shima.
Oh yeah, Zetsubo. That was fine.
Zetsubo was nice.
That was that swamp map. And Revelations.
Revelations was fine. Revelations, like 2 out of the 2.
Tripping. The Zetsu reminded me of War at War.
Shino Numa?
Yeah,
Shino Numa.
Heck no. We out of all the maps we barely played Zetsu. That's how I know you're lying.
To be honest,
I didn't play with you on that much.
Why Zetsubo was played little, because when it came to the Easter egg, that shit was time consuming.
Yeah.
Especially when you had to shoot down an aircraft. But the only way to get the round for it, you had to feed these plants, and it's a random spawn chance that you'll get the round. So I understand why that was played less, but it was a good map, art style wise, and placement of everything. It was pretty cool, but I can understand why that's played less. Like I probably played more Shadows of Evil and Horizon Drak.
I played the fuck out of literally both of them. Horizon Drak more than Shadows, but Shadows just because I couldn't get the DLC for a long time. And Grod Provi wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. Yeah,
that's the one where you killed the Nikolai variant, ain't it?
Yeah, in the mech.
Yeah.
And that was
you got the dragon. You got.
Oh yeah, the dragon airstrike, the dragon transportation.
Yeah, moving around the map itself, I could see why people didn't like that, but you
gotta know your shit.
Overall,
you'd be lost.
Yeah.
In Revelation, it was just
all of them.
But it's all fucking place when it came to trying to understand the Easter egg. Man, people were doing the most weirdest shit just to find one thing. I think it took the Easter egg team. I think it took them a fucking week to complete it. I think it was that map that took them a week to actually complete it.
Damn.
And now the Easter eggs now are completed within a few hours.
See, I used to watch Mr. Dalek JD for all the zombie shit and the Easter eggs.
Mr. Dalek JD here.
Hi guys, Mr. Dalek JD here. It was Mr. Waffle Waffle. I can't even say his fucking name.
Waffle Waffles, yes sir.
Waffle Waffles here.
Then there was Noah J, which he was more of a community guy. Noah J 456.
Wait, wasn't he that one that was like he was like that boy Purple? He literally sent us a video like, "Hey guys, you can get the what was that one thing that you could? What was that one? It was like a throwing knife, but it was like it was called
Hell's Retriever."
Yeah, it was the Hell's Retriever.
Hell's Retriever.
It was the Hell's Retriever. He was like, yeah, guys, you can get the Hell's Retriever on Shadows of Eve.
That's a fucking troll.
I was like, dude, you're getting trolled.
Sounds like some fucking chromatic would say. The Hell's Retriever.
Back in the days when I could actually watch them long ass live streams, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm about to be even more honest. I'm really over zombies too because I'm still salty about when me, Wolf, Dino, and I think it was Purple. I'm not sure who was our fourth. We were the first in the world. The last step of the Easter egg on Barry. That's where I was like, I don't care anymore, bro. I don't care because everybody else gave up. I'm like, dude, we're literally right there.
I hated Barry.
I love Barry.
Yeah, the target, the last step was to shoot a certain amount of targets in a certain amount of time, and you had to hit them all. And I don't know who was missing their fucking shots.
Girls.
Yeah, I really don't know who was missing it. Like
someone was missing their
I ain't
fucking
gonna hold
shots.
you.
So we were at the
I
last.
definitely was not with y'all when y'all did that. That was you.
I think you were there.
No, you were in a party, but you weren't playing.
I was in the party, but I wasn't in y'all lobby.
Yeah, we were first in the world on the last step.
Shit's so stupid.
When it came to uploading it, because there was no videos about that last step, that last part.
Yeah, because it wasn't out. We still have it right there. It's recorded in history.
Yeah,
I'm M16.
I have
Go to
two
Wolf's
videos
channel.
of it. The first one was the audio was out of sync, so I had to re-upload it with the synced audio. But yeah, the target practice one, I liked Buried. It was casual fun.
It wasn't as bad as Die Rise. That's
My
probably
shit.
the worst. That's probably the worst one. I would play Transit over Die Rise.
Nah, I have to play Die Rise over Transit.
Nah,
to be honest, I would probably play trans shit over die shit just because.
So you rather have carbon monoxide inhaled, you can't see shit, monkey scraping your goddamn face over some broken ass skyscrapers.
Here's the thing. I can get that like if they was to rematch, like that's the thing. If they had remastered that map, it would have been really nice if they would have remastered that map, because that's a map that's like it just the technology wasn't there yet, bro. So
I was gonna say they remastered it on the engine that can handle it.
They actually have. Black Ops 3 modders have actually remastered that map, and some editions have taken away that damn fucking smoke. So you could see everything now.
See, yeah.
You can go online and actually see a Black Ops 3 engine transit.
And I'm sure that map is probably 10 times better. With Die Rise, it's just going through all those elevators. It's one of those where the fuck do I go kind of maps. The person who just garbage. Like I just didn't get it. Like, how do you go from that? How do you go from Origins to that?
They were experimenting.
Wait, Origins? Origins was Black Ops 2.
No, I'm talking about Transit.
Oh, you said Origins.
No, I said no, because I was like, how do you go from Origins to Die Rise?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had me confused for a second. Yeah. I don't know.
Because I could give Transit some credit because that's a starter map. Like, okay, you can see, like I said, the technology wasn't there, so you can kind of see what they were trying to do. They just didn't. It just because of the hardware, the limitations of 360, like and PS3, like that map just couldn't handle being on that system. So, but you can see what they were trying to do. The Die Rise, I don't know what they were doing with that. They must have, them Treyarch niggas must have been smoking some mighty long lines of coke.
Tables of coke. They got coke on the treadmills, and they have it in a swirl mode. You gotta move, snort it.
That is crazy.
What was the third map? It's Buried. I'm stupid. It's Buried.
No, it was Mob of the Dead. That was the third
map.
And then it was Buried, right? Or
no. Die Rise first. Second was Mob. Third was Buried. Fourth was Origins.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought Transit was a fucking DLC map.
No, it wasn't.
No, that was a
Nuketown Zombies was a DLC, but it was a pre-order edition. You couldn't get it if you just got the standard.
It wasn't even that good anyway.
Nah, yeah. It was just zombies on a fucking Nuketown map. That's it. Nothing special.
That's another map that needs to stop being rebooted. Nuketown, stop bringing it back in every.
Go back to shipment.
2025. We got Nuketown. What was the other one?
There was Nuketown 2025. There was Nuketown with the letter 3, but it was a digitized.
Oh yeah, and
then there was Nuketown, the Russian city for Black Ops 4. Then they brought back Nuketown and Cold War, but it was the nuke went off and squatters were just playing around with the destroyed houses. I hated Black Ops 4 Nuketown. That was the most stupidest fucking Nuketown I've ever seen in my life.
It just got bad after 2, man. It's like that map just got bad.
25 was okay. After that, come on, bro. Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be, we shouldn't be having like black like that Nuketown map in every single Treyarch game. You know, like it's getting ridiculous.
Hey man, you're gonna be seeing the same maps in Modern or Infinity Ward's game. They're bringing back Rust. They're bringing back Shipment.
But we haven't played. But we ain't played. We haven't played Rust in a really long time. So that's a little bit understandable.
Well, it's only the
spot though.
Yeah, because I was about to say I was about to start the recording.
Yeah, we definitely getting kind of
we're going overboard.
Yeah,
off top, nigga. It's been an hour and a half.
It's a whole different episode. We did 2 in one.
Yeah.
Passionate.
All right. It's like Saint said, but we gonna close this out.
You gonna cut off?
I said we gonna close this out, my boys. Appreciate y'all coming. Do y'all have any shameless plugs?
It don't matter what you say.
Y'all know where to find me.
Saying y'all know where I'm at on YouTube and on Twitch. King Kareem 1969. You feel me? Did a stream last night. My stomach hurt.
You know your YouTube name is different than your Twitch name?
Oh yeah, it kind of is because the E's and the R's. And I forgot how I had it taped. No, it ain't gonna let me fix it at this point. I'm not gonna lie. It's cooked.
He ain't got the brain power for it right now either.
You can always fix that, dog. I will teach you that. It's very simple.
2 E's and that one, and that joint got 2 R's. Oh, bet. Okay, I know how to fix it then. Whatever. Settings.
I don't got no plug, so yeah.
Hey, we gonna go ahead and close out then.
Oh.
Yes, sir.